Hello, Ryan. I'm happy to hear that you're intrigued by personality psychology and the MBTI. That's something that can help provide you with insight about yourself and others around you for the rest of your life, really. You mentioned the book Quiet. That's been on my list for quite some time now, and I'll get to that soon. I took the color test for the first time, and I am blue with green as my secondary color, and the results seem fairly accurate. You asked for the MBTI types of my family. William is an ESFJ. Some of those characteristics, he has a strong sense of duty, is good at connecting with others, but can sometimes be too selfless. Sandra is an ISFJ. She's reliable and patient, loyal and hardworking, but may take things too personally sometimes. Ayang is an ESTJ. She's direct and honest, an excellent organizer, but can often be stubborn. I am an INFJ. I'm altruistic, insightful, but sensitive to criticism. Ryan, you're an ISFP. You're charming, curious, but you may have fluctuating self-esteem. And touching on the artistry of the INFP or the ISFP, I think that can be interpreted as anything that's not passive input, but's rather anything that you're actively and creatively doing that's authentic and freely chosen and not contrived or bound by obligation. It's a pretty broad and open meaning. Alicia, she's an ESFJ. She has strong practical skills and needs to know from their partner that they will always be by their side and offering unwavering support. She's sensitive yet firm. Her type of parenting style is being able to establish rules and authority without being entirely overbearing. Lex is an INFJ. She's creative, but may be reluctant to open up. She might have trouble deciding on which job or activity is best for them because they're able to imagine so many possibilities. And she wants to find meaning in her work and to know that she's helping and connecting with people. As an INFJ myself, I think the most important thing that you can do is patiently and tactfully encourage her to share what she honestly wants to do. You asked about changing personality types. Well, your type will probably never change. There are exceptions to every rule, but for the MBTI personality types, they don't change after probably around age 8. A person and their personality, of course, changes dramatically. However, the MBTI specifically is a framework that reveals someone's preference of how they see the world and how they make decisions. That's what the tool is intended to reveal. How do you usually perceive? How do you usually judge? That's essentially what the MBTI tells you, along with how a person gains energy. It's like you're right or left-handed. Technically, I could work for years on my left-handed jump shot and even be a better shooter with my left hand than with my right. But it's not quite as natural, and I have to work much harder at it, and I'll always be right-handed. Another analogy for you is your home country. Imagine that you were born in Oregon and you spent 10 years there. You speak English, you're a Ducks fan, you eat an American diet, your political views are generally liberal, you understand certain cultural references to TV shows and certain holidays, etc. You will always be an American. Even if you move to Spain and live there for 30 years, You may adapt and develop a new language and have some new hobbies and a new lifestyle. However, once that American culture is embedded in you, you can't really take it away. So, an individual person can change dramatically, but this specific framework, the MBTI in particular, very rarely changes. Other personality criteria likely change, but the MBTI types do not. But again, just because you're an ISFP, that doesn't mean all ISFPs are alike. Just like there are millions of people from one country, all of those people are radically different and constantly changing. They just have one core general feature in common. You are programmed in a certain way. You are an ISFP and always will be. This awareness is a tool that's not black and white. It's just one more criteria to understand someone, just like a religion or an age or a gender. A personality type tells us an important piece about someone, but certainly not the whole picture. So, in sum, personality is a mixture of nature and nurture, and most of your primary traits are formed by around age 7 or 8, I would guess. We change in a billion little ways every day, and we can become more open-minded or have different habits and different actions, but it's extremely rare that we make a fundamental personality change. Something I wanted to note was some of the main benefits about knowing more about personality psychology. You can really understand your career path, resolve and avoid conflict, create cohesive relationships, focus on your individual strengths, understand and develop your weaknesses, know yourself better, create a plan to improve in a way that's best for you, communicate more effectively, and increase emotional intelligence. Carl Jung has a few relevant quotes on the topic. He says that everything that irritates us about others can lead us to an understanding of ourselves. And your visions will become clear only when you can look into your own heart. He who looks outside dreams, he who looks inside awakes. If you're still curious about the MBTI, try reading Gifts Differing and Please Understand Me Too. And rather than trying to understand all 16 types right away, I recommend learning more about the 4 broad types. There's NFs, NTs, SPs, and SJs. Your perspective on people will change bigly once you know these 4 main general types. Also, try the Enneagram if you're eager for more personality psychology awareness. It focuses mostly on how our core fears shape our tendencies. So a little different perspective there. And one more piece of advice about personality psychology, it's not to be too concerned with getting the 4-letter labels or your personality types perfectly correctly matched. But you should focus on looking at people through the lenses of introversion and extroversion, thinking and feeling, and keep asking why people do what they do. There's always a reason for someone's behavior, and usually it's complex. But that's the ultimate goal, to understand more, to become more empathetic with others, and more compassionate with ourselves. So, just like you became aware of your analysis paralysis, it's much easier to work on since you've become aware of the issue, I'm sure. Awareness is always the foundation. All right, my question for you. Let's continue on the personality psychology topic. I want to know, what is your Enneagram type? That's Enneagram. Check out the link provided or take another similar test and let me know your results. and tell me what you think of your type and the Enneagram in general. I'll guess that you're a type 2, but I'm not too confident with my Enneagram skills just yet. All right, talk to you soon. Happy Halloween.